After a lot of pressure, Joe Biden finally went to the border. He got a really sanitized view of El Paso. He didn't go downtown and see where, the 84,000 migrants were dumped in less than 4 months.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Yeah, there we go. That's
look at that.
USA right there.
That's El Paso, Texas.
Yep.
My God.
Looks like that in the alleyways as well. They're all crowded around like this one church.
Now, you would think you might, as president, go down and take a look at this and
no.
So you can understand firsthand and say, yeah, I saw it firsthand. It's really out of control.
No, his route avoided that area.
Wow.
Yeah.
He did. I guess he did go to the border, though, right?
Yeah.
He was walking near the wall.
He walked near the wall.
So he's all set now. He's all set. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine.
So he'll solve it. Yeah. And all that stuff you see there, that's Trump's fault, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He inherited the situation, I believe,
KJP,
is what we're being told.
You got to play this KJP clip.
The president inherited a mess because of what the last administration did. We inherited a mess.
Okay. So
I just can't.
Nikki Haley, who was a part of the Trump administration, saw that clip and then tweeted out, here's the border crossing mess Biden inherited. In 2020, 458,000 illegals. In 2022, 2.378 million illegals.
Yeah,
so 458,000, 2.378 million.
And I won't even make the case that it wasn't a mess when Biden took over. But Trump was trying to do something about it. He was trying to build a wall. He was trying to cut down incentives for them to cross the border illegally. He was trying to fix it. But it didn't start with Trump. You go back to Obama. You go back to Bush. You go back to Clinton and on, back to the late 50s with Eisenhower to the beginning of this. Yes, every president since about 58 has inherited a problem. But this president made it 5 times as bad. At least 5 times as bad. So don't give me that he inherited a terrible problem. They've all inherited the problem. It's just who's going to do something about it.
Yeah, and Democrat office holders, whether presently or recently left their post, Democrats along the border in these communities are saying, Joe Biden, what is up?
Yeah.
Fix this. Give
bad.
a crap about the border down here because our communities are being overrun. Whatever.
Right. Frustrating.
Yeah.
It's really frustrating.
But Greg Abbott, he's out there trying to push back on this. So this weekend he was everywhere.
And here he is talking about it.
We've had about as many people cross the border illegally in the past year alone as we have residents of Houston, Texas. This is outrageous that Joe Biden is not doing more. They're not fooling anybody. And there's a reason why he's trying to step up now. And that's because most of Americans disagree with Joe Biden's open border policies, and they lay the fault directly at Joe Biden's feet.
Thank you.
What did he say? He said Houston, the population of Houston.
Yeah, Houston proper.
In the last year.
Just the city of Houston limits, there's about 2.2 million?
Yeah, in the last year.
Is that what it is?
The 4th largest city in America.
Right.
Crossed illegally in the last year alone.
It's interesting when you put it in those terms.
Right?
Houston's a pretty dang big city.
Yeah, and the Biden administration didn't tell the governor's office that they were coming to El Paso until I think it was the day before, so Saturday. They're like, oh, yeah, if you want to greet him on the tarmac, here's when he'll be here tomorrow. And so Abbott got out there and handed him a letter. There's some interesting stuff in there. I think it's very well written. He shared it with the rest of us, the contents therein.
He wrote, Dear President Biden. I use dear fairly loosely.
Yeah, he put honorable on there.
Did he? Yeah, the Honorable Joseph R. Biden Jr.
Look how nice he's being.
President of the United States. Dear President Biden, your visit to our southern border with Mexico today is $20 billion too little and 2 years too late. Moreover, your visit avoids the sites where mass illegal immigration occurs and sidesteps the thousands of angry Texas property owners whose lives have been destroyed by your border policies. Even the city you visit has been sanitized of the migrant camps, which had overrun downtown El Paso because your administration wants to shield you from the chaos that Texans experience on a daily basis. This chaos is the direct result of your failure to enforce the immigration laws that Congress enacted. What do you want to bet? He just threw this directly in the garbage. Probably didn't even read it.
Oh, yeah, no kidding.
Went directly into the garbage. Under President Trump, the federal government achieved historically low levels of illegal immigration. Under your watch, by contrast, America is suffering the worst illegal immigration in the history of our country. Your open border policies have emboldened the cartels, who grow wealthy by trafficking deadly fentanyl and even human beings. Texans are paying an especially high price for your failure, sometimes with their very lives, as local leaders from your own party will tell you if given the chance. All of this is happening because you have violated your constitutional obligation to defend the United States against invasion through the faithful execution of federal laws. Halfway through your presidency, though, I can finally welcome you to the border when you finish the photo op. In a carefully stage-managed version of El Paso, you have a job to do. And then he describes some of the things he must do.
I love it.
That's great. Good stuff. I like Governor Abbott. I think he's done a good job, mostly. There were some missteps along the way, but I think all in all, he's been a pretty good governor. And that's nice that he took the bold action to present him with that letter.
Well, but the Biden administration is being very receptive to him, correct? Like, and they're like, "Hey, cool, thanks for your help here, Governor Abbott." Right?
Yeah, super
receptive.
Okay. Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas doesn't like Abbott. And what Abbott and Texas are doing. Here's what Alejandro had to say.
Well, Governor Abbott is not collaborating with the federal government on an issue that requires collaboration. We cannot have the rights and the needs of individuals who are seeking humanitarian relief in the United States be exploited for political purposes. We cannot have unilateral governor action that is not coordinated with the federal government to address an issue that is of national importance.
Somebody got to do something, bro.
Yeah.
It's just pathetic.
It is. It's agonizing.